Good morning, Meteorologist Ryan Hoke here with today's edition of the Hokey video blog. Glad you're here with us. You're probably staying inside today because of all the rainfall that we have on the way. Some folks have already seen some of the rain this morning. We've had some of that drizzle, some of that mist here in Metro Louisville, but the cool temperatures around 40 this morning will give way to much warmer temperatures by this afternoon. Just wish we could get the rain out of the picture during that time frame. You'll see that coming up here in just a second. Let's start you off with today's Hokey weather fact. We've got the chance for a couple rumbles of thunder with some of this heavy rainfall as it moves in this afternoon into this evening. So I thought we'd talk about an interesting lightning fact. Oak trees are struck by lightning more than any other type of tree. If you've got an oak tree in your backyard, listen up. They've got a lot of moisture in them, a lot of water being held. That water is conductive, the lightning's attracted to that. So when you see oak trees struck by lightning, statistically that's what should happen because they are struck more than any other type of tree. Now you know this morning from today's Hokey weather fact. Outside, right now in Shepherdsville from our SkyTrack camera, having trouble seeing the interstate there in the background because the visibility is just so low. It is nasty out there. It's gloomy. It's wet. And we're eventually going to be adding a wind component to this as well once we get a warm front through here later this morning. Right now in Metro Louisville, we're seeing scattered clouds around 300 feet above the ground. It's overcast at 600 feet. And we've got a visibility of about a half mile. So clouds and low visibility really socking us in this morning. As we said before, the rainfall really kind of taking a break for a few folks now. We're getting more of the spotty showers across portions of the area just southwest of Metro Louisville here. I'll take you on a little radar tour where you do see some of the more consistent rainfall happening across northwestern portions of our viewing area just west of us, really out toward Evansville at this time, just north of that area. Down to the south is where we've got some of the more spotty showers at this time. On the wider view, you'll see, my goodness, just a ton of rainfall, really heavy rainfall around areas near the Missouri Boot Hill, moving into southern Illinois. That'll eventually be tracking eastward into our neck of the woods as we go throughout late this morning into this afternoon. Plenty of rainfall across portions of Arkansas down toward Louisiana, where they've even had tornado warnings this morning. Not expecting any of that here, thank goodness, but we are going to see this area of low pressure surging to the north and east, and as it does so, the warm front will do so as well. That's really going to pump up our temperatures as we go throughout this afternoon up toward that 60-degree mark. I'll take off the surface features here so you can see some of the thunderstorms that they had down there across eastern Texas into Louisiana this morning. Here's how Futurecast shapes up. I put on the high-resolution rapid refresh model on our Futurecast here because I think it's got a better idea than what the RPM does, what we usually show. By 10:30 this morning, here's that heavy rainfall that you saw across portions of southwest Indiana on the current radar view. Pretty much the northern two-thirds of the forecast area involved with this. 47 degrees by that time. But look what's going on down toward Mumfordville and Campbellsville. Mid-50s, that warm front beginning to make its presence known. And as we go throughout 1 o'clock, temperatures near 60 along the warm front just to our south. 57 here in Metro Louisville. May see kind of a break in the rainfall. Not a complete one, but at least not as heavy of a rain situation here by that time in that area that you see there without the rain on the model. And as we go throughout 7:30, 8 o'clock, 9 this evening, it's just a solid area of rainfall, especially areas south of the river getting in on that. Temperatures near 60 degrees. I've got our high of 60 this afternoon in store for us. But as we go throughout the overnight, the rain will eventually push out. By midnight or so, we'll see the cold front moving on through. That gives us a few isolated to scattered showers throughout your Sunday morning. Could see some redevelopment on Sunday afternoon. Now, this is key because there will be cold air punching in by this time, and that could catch up to some of these rain showers and produce a few snowflakes. Are we expecting accumulation? Definitely not at this time. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. Just a few flakes falling from the sky. The more interesting thing is what happens Monday night into early Tuesday. Now, this is one of these Alberta clippers that comes through this part of the country this time of year, and it gives a snowfall, usually for areas along the I-70 corridor into Columbus, sometimes as far south as Cincinnati, and on occasion they get as far south as Metro Louisville. Now, the forecast does not call for this to come through Louisville by any stretch of the imagination. But I do think a few flurries or snow showers could fall in our northern counties. Lawrence, Jackson, Jennings, you folks up there may get in on a little bit of this just really snowflake activity as we go throughout Monday night to early Tuesday morning. The models at this point indicating that most of the snow is going to fall north of our area. Cincinnati may get in on it, though. There is a very small chance, and I'm talking a very small chance, that this could angle itself a little farther south, as the Canadian model's been hinting at, and maybe give us that snowfall. But I'm not on board with that at all, because the GFS, the Euro, and even to some degree the NAM indicating that as we go throughout this time frame, the snow is going to be north of us. But these clippers have been known to throw us a few surprises here and there. I do remember one time in high school when my dad yelled up to me in my room, this was like at 6 o'clock in the morning, that school has been canceled due to snow. Now, at this time, I knew that, a fair bit amount of meteorology for a high schooler. I looked out my window and went, that's not supposed to be there. One of these clippers did come south. That happens from time to time. I don't think that'll happen this time, but we'll keep tabs on it. Now, here's the interesting part, the really interesting part. Canadian high pressure builds in from Canada, really Alberta. If there was an Alberta clipper for a low pressure, this would be an Alberta high pressure, if you will, moving on in from the north. This is going to be spreading absolutely bitter cold temperatures down our way. Single-digit low temperatures by Thursday morning, wind chills of 10 below zero or worse than that even. Now, we're not going to have a snow cover here, at least in this current forecast, for the low. So it's rare to get a temperature in the single digits like that without a snow cover here. Usually you've got to have that to get temperatures that low. But we will have a snow cover to our north. So as that air mass moves over portions of the country with that snow cover, near north of I-70 pretty much, that air mass won't modify quite as much. So it'll allow it to be staying colder for farther south with that snow cover just to our north. So a little bit of a setup there when it comes to that bitterly cold air coming through as we go throughout that time frame. Here's how it works out on the 7-day breakdown for you real quick. Temperatures by early Sunday start out in the mid-40s, and then we drop throughout the day eventually into the 30s in the afternoon. Could see a few flakes by the afternoon hours. Otherwise, by Monday, we're partly sunny, 28. Yeah, we go from 60 to 28 in about, 48 hours or so, and you'll notice that overnight low of 18 degrees, though, as we go throughout Monday morning. Brr, that's going to be a cold one. Even colder, though, is what happens as we go throughout your Thursday morning. 6 degrees. That's what I've got for a low temperature. That may be being conservative, too. Latest model data indicating temperatures even lower than that. I've elected at this time to go a little higher than that, trying to trend the forecast slower downward in time here with the data, because I don't think it'll be quite that cold yet. 2 degrees is what the GFS had us for Thursday morning, and I think we'll get down to 6. You'll notice temperatures just to our north, though, around 0, and I can't even rule out the suburbs going around the 0 degree mark. Below 0 possible, certainly, just north of I-70 at this time. So bundle the kiddos up Thursday morning. Geez, you're going to have to throw them everything that they've got in the closet, because it's going to be a cold walk to the bus stop. Even by Friday, we're still below freezing or at freezing for a high temperature, depending on where you're at, with 18 for an overnight low Friday morning. Oh my goodness. 60 degrees to 6 degrees in one 7-day breakdown. Welcome to the Ohio Valley, folks. The weather changes every 5 minutes, and especially when you're in a very light El Nino pattern like this one, well, the weather likes to go way up and way down in quite a hurry. All right, that's a look at the forecast for now. I'm meteorologist Ryan Hoke. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early on sunrise, starting at 5 a.m. Have a great Saturday.